Exactly.
Right? And
That's
now
it.
here's something new. All right. X times Y equals K. That is very important for you to understand. That is new. Before, centralized exchanges had to borrow against their fundage. Why? Because there was no other way for them to do it. So they pumped their own coin to borrow more money to, do the thing, right?
Hmm.
Well, if you were a founder and you created a coin and you set it in liquidity pools, you could create a pairing of USDC and your coin and literally collect fees.
Hmm.
Nothing else. Just collect fees. You can then take that USDC and that's your money. You take those fees out, leave everything as it is, and then when that eventually distributes, right, and it runs out of hex or runs out of that coin, you just set another level and you are literally printing free USDC because you created a coin. And that's why a lot of people are making their own coins now, is because they figured this out. That literally you can collect fees on your own coin because you can be the primary liquidity provider and collect fees on your own coin. And there's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a fair way of distribution, and you never need to sell on market your coins ever, because literally owning those coins, owning those coins allows you to produce free USDC. And if you are in a large position in X, you could you could in fact set a liquidity position, okay, with USDC and hex, and then when your hex is all gone, you just remove your USDC. That's it. You don't actually have to sell it. And if the price grinds up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, instead of whining all this time, you would have been making money, because it's been grinding in this range for like a year. How much money do you think you'd make with all that volume grinding for a year if you would have just set your hex there and left it,
Yeah.
right?
Or if you staked it.
But if you are, well, actually, you would have done a lot better with. That's what I'm saying, with the liquidity. You can do better if you are in a large position
Yeah.
grinding it out like that, because you're able to take that USD and sell it without
Mhm.
hurting the price of hex whatsoever, because you get to collect fees on both sides. But it's not for everybody,
Yeah.
right? It's for people with large positions. It's not for everybody. And people that are making the wrong pairings end up with impermanent loss, and there's a lot to it. There's a lot to understand. So I don't like to tell new people to do that sort of thing, because they end up making a mistake,
Yeah.
or they put in small amounts and it costs them more to remove that small amount than the money that they're actually making. If it costs you $100 to remove it and you only got $10 worth of profit in there, you're down $90.
Yeah.
So small players trying to play the liquidity game. Now this will change with PulseX. That will change. And what I'm saying is it would be right for the OA to increase the pool size over there so that they can dilute some of that, because people will be able to move their coins in and out with almost no cost whatsoever. And if that becomes more lucrative than staking Hex, then Hex kind of loses its purpose, because Hex needs to be the premium store of value on both chains. And if you're able to do that on both chains, it kind of loses its point of being a staking token if you can just draw fees from both sides, right?
So
And go ahead.
no, you're saying if but isn't like providing liquidity, it's very risky in terms of impermanent loss, and also if
Do you like
if
Hex?
if if it becomes more profitable to provide liquidity because like fees whatever, then
Yeah.
more people are going to do it, and then it's not going to be because it's just
Yes.
concentrated. So I
Exactly.
don't think it could really threaten like the time lock. Uh,
Well, it
of,
does if the pools are not large to start with, because initially that's going to be better. And as far as, is there risk? Well,
but
that's
then
the
they'll
thing.
get large. But then they'll get large.
But do you like Hex and do you like USDC? Do you care? If you're planning on selling Hex, wouldn't it be better for
Yeah,
you to just provide liquidity and remove free USDC than
yeah,
it would be to sell your Hex and then not have it? And that's what you can do. So you're able to provide, and you can also set single-sided liquidity. So you can literally say, look, when Hex hits 10 cents, I'm going to sell 100,000 of them. When Hex hits $1, I'm going to sell another 100,000 of them. And you can just leave it and walk away. And when you come back, if it hits those price points, the USDC is in your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to do anything. You just come back and you collect your money. You know, if you're setting up a two-sided range, well, it just grinds in there, right? You never remove your Hex and your USDC pairing. You just hit the collect fees button, and then that's your money. And then you can add your Hex back, and you got US dollars. So you made money that doesn't impact the Hex price at all. So when I say dumpers are dumb, I mean dumpers are dumb. They could literally extract value forever and never lose a coin, really, because they're able to collect those fees.
It's funny. It's like it's in most cryptocurrencies, like the whales are already very rich and they already know what they're doing. Like people with big, I don't know about whales, but people with like price changing money. But Hex, since you time locked and you can't sell too early, you have these people that aren't necessarily, they don't have the knowledge or the mental acuity like of the average whale, and they just kind of do stupid things. So it's like, it's like
you get too much money too fast and you don't know what to do with it, right? And you will self-sabotage, right? You could probably make $10 million, but you'll probably quit at $1 million because $1 million's more than you ever imagined. So you just quit. Cool.
And you could provide liquidity. So anyone watching that has a lot of Hex and is thinking about what do you call it? The fat finger on the sell. Like consider playing the whale game. Whales do not, market sell, and they extract value through providing liquidity. Especially, we have decentralized exchanges now. Whales have the ability to extract liquidity. So why not do that?
You can take out your USDC and play with that.
Yeah.
Keep your Hex. Why? Why would you do that? Like literally, it's free, and it's worth $1. Why would you do it? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And it's credible. But see, here's the thing, right? So Richard, nobody likes to talk about this because if the pools get really big, then it's harder to move the Hex price up, right?
Yeah.
So nobody likes to talk about this. But the reason we cascaded down here is because one of the large whales just removed his liquidity and sold against himself. That created this cascade effect.